What's happening, YouTube? How y'all doing today? My name is Joe, just your average Joe. It is Monday. Welcome to Monday. How about them Lions? Let's go. 52-6. Love it, love it, love it. Lions are whooping behinds, and I'm loving it finally. So, but appreciate you guys hanging out with me. We've got sales are dismal over the weekend. Sales are dismal. It is fourth Q4, and I feel like it's just not popping like it was last year. So, but we're still selling things. We're still moving things. We're still buying things. I'll show you guys my processing table. It is full again. Anyway, we got a bunch to show. We got a bunch to go over, and we got some sales. We got some comments, and we have some showing off for things that I picked up for some marketplace deals. Between marketplace deals, connections, networks that I already have with people, and yard sales. I've got a table full of stuff again. So there's that. I don't have my mic this time. My phone's almost dead, so I'm rolling without the mic, but I believe the sound is still pretty good for you guys. But if you haven't been with me before, my name is Joe. Been reselling full-time for about 8 years, give or take, but been buying and selling stuff on eBay since 2000, so been around a long, long time. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. Let's first go over comments, and then I will go over sales, and then I'll show off the processing table. So I might even pack with you guys because why not, right? This I don't think this will be a too long of a video compared to my normal Monday videos. Normally Mondays have a lot more sales, have a lot more comments, but you know, it's just one of them Mondays. So first thing is Fart Sack Jack blew up the messages and says, Joe, damn it, man. I know he wants me to go live. I know, I'm sorry. Someone says, if you want a lot of quick subs, make a bunch of shorts. I don't know, but what the fuck? Worth a try. From what I understand, I've done some research. Shorts will give you lots of views, but it doesn't translate to a lot of subs from what I've actually heard. So I've actually heard the opposite, or a little caveat to that, or a little difference in that. Shorts will give you tons of views, but it won't actually help you with a ton of subs. Again, that's just what I've heard. So, but Farsack Jack also says, Joe, I'm a stoner. I get off and I go off on rambles often. Is that what happens on your end? Because you ramble just like me. I don't. I used to do a little partake a little bit back in college and in my early days when I was a little younger, but I haven't partaken in quite a while. So no, I'm just a rambler, man. I'm just a rambler. In fact, last time I partaked was a couple years back when we went to California and visited some friends of ours. 2-3 years ago, I think it was. It was the last time I did some partaking. It was. Oh, and before that would have been when I went to Vegas. That would have been probably about 5-6 years before. Well, like 3 years or so, probably before that is when I went to Vegas. I actually went to Vegas the year before it was legalized. And it was obviously illegal, but you smelled it everywhere. Then I went the following year, and it was legalized. And just like that, within a year, they opened up. I went the same time, February, both years. I went back-to-back years. And the second year I went, I mean, there was our dispensaries all over the place. I mean, obviously, you still smelled it everywhere, too. But there was dispensaries everywhere. And what blew me away is it's kind of like, you know, it's illegal here, it's legal there, and it was illegal there the year before. So it was kind of like, it was just weird, man. It was just a weird feeling being able to, I mean, you're not supposed to do it out in public, but they're also not going to do anything to you either, from what I understand, unless you're acting stupid, or you just blatantly walk by a cop while you're doing it. Then obviously, you know, you probably get a ticket or something. But it's nuts. It was just nuts. So I remember being paranoid as hell on the poker tables. Like, do they know that I just got done doing that? Like, it was just super weird. When I was out walking the streets doing it, it was later at night, and you know, it was just weird, man. It was just weird. So, yeah, but like I said, it's been a long time since I've done any of that stuff. So, trying to think. Yeah, I think that's about all I got for that. So anyway, let's keep rolling. Farsack Jack, but no, but hey, I'm glad you are, and that that does certainly contribute to rambling, but that's not why I ramble. You'd be able to see it in my eyes if I was. They wouldn't be white unless I use Visine, but then you'd see my pupils would be very small. I gotta shave. Anyway, so Farsack Jack says, I'm ready for some sourcing videos. I just started doing some editing last night, pulling videos off my SD card. The last bit of footage, a couple of the newer things that I picked up. In fact, some of the stuff that's on my processing table, you'll see in the video because I'm going to put it on there. I'm going to just lump it all together in one like 30-minute video and throw it out there. Hopefully, I didn't get a chance to do it over the weekend like I was planning, but hopefully I'm not breaking helmets. My other business, I'm done, finished last night for, so I'm not going to run again until probably Friday. So I got all this week, a little bit extra time on my hands. So my plan is to kind of double up, get a regular video out like this, then get one of those sourcing videos out for you guys. So it's coming. I started last night. I pulled everything off the SD card that's worth putting in a video, at least that I felt. And I'm going to just kind of cut and chop it up and then get it out there for you guys. So it's coming. In the next day or two, I'll have one out for you. I'm not going to reply and thumb up on all of these, but I will do the last one. He also says, any word on Stinky Game System? Fart Sack Jack, no. Actually, believe it or not, no. It delivered sometime last week, early last week, I think it was. Haven't heard anything. Now, I will say, when I got off camera with you guys, I took dryer sheets and I put dryer sheets all around it and let it just roll. And heat, it was hot, it was on, it was running, and let it just roll and suck in the dryer sheet smell and push out dryer sheet smell and pee smell, kind of. And I let it run for like 2 hours, just sitting here running. I had to come back out and like reset it and then turn it back on again because it would turn off after a while. But I did that like three times maybe. And literally for like 2 hours, maybe a little bit more, had this thing out here just running with the dryer sheets all around it. So like all the vents had the dryer sheets and everything where it was sucking in, pushing out. And I think I got at least it not smelling near as bad. I'll say that. I couldn't smell shit afterwards. I just smelled dryer sheets at that point. So I was probably, but I was at that point, I was like, let's pack this thing up and send it out. And I have not heard a thing. So if anything, it's masked the smell enough, and or the person just isn't picking up on it, and or it doesn't smell anymore. I don't know. I don't know which one it is, but I can tell you it smelled like dryer sheets for me for a while. And so there's that. So that's what I did. That's what I tried. It seemed to work. I haven't gotten a return. I haven't gotten a message saying this system smells. I mean, it was in nice shape. It was clean. It had a little smell to it. And I blew that thing out to Kingdom Come with my air compressor. So I know I got pretty much at least the stuff that wasn't stuck to obviously stuff sticks to the board and things like that. So I know it didn't get everything, obviously. That's why I still had a smell to it. But all the stuff that was floating around in there, I know got blown out, and it was cleaned up and disinfected on the outside. So outside of the smell, it was fine. It fired up and worked no problem, and it was in great shape. So I think I'm safe on that one. I think I'm safe. I think the dryer sheets saved it. So there's that. So yeah, anyway, Winston says, that neighborhood story is riveting, Joe. Yeah, it was crazy, man. It's crazy. It was one of those crazy situations, that's for sure. Action in the neighborhood. So next one up, and Winston and Fart Sack Jack, thank y'all again for your support and hanging out. Akura Comics, this is the second time I think you commented, says, what's your favorite PlayStation system and favorite Nintendo system? Also, you guys can't have Max Crosby, damn it. Yeah, well, I think we're done going after Crosby now that we picked up, what's his name? The dude from Cleveland. I just lost his name. I just had his name. Zadarius Smith. So I think we're good with Zadarius, but man, the talks were heavy with Max Crosby. Now, you never know. He might come to us after his contract is up, because he was saying he is a Michigan boy. So he might come home. And Detroit's becoming more a place where more players want to come, from what I'm hearing. It used to not be, and now it's becoming one of those places. So it's a good city. It's cleaned up. It's turned around since 10 years ago or more, and now we got a great squad, a great well, we have really the same owner family, but we're just doing the right things now, man. So we get great coach, great GM. So more and more players. We might start seeing some players actually come to Detroit. But anyway, what's my favorite PlayStation system? Favorite PlayStation system is probably the PS2, just because I grew up playing it so much. PS3 is not far behind it, but PS2, PS3, I'd say are pretty much neck and neck for me. Nintendo system, I'm going to have to go neck and neck on this one too. Super Nintendo and 64 for me, neck and neck. GameCube, I didn't really play much as a kid, although I do collect it. I didn't play much growing up. I was in college, and it's when it pretty much came out. So I was, not that I was out of gaming, but I was more into PS2 at that time. If I had to say, yeah, so Super Nintendo and 64 are going to be the two. I'm gonna work them hand in hand there. So that's my answer. I'm sticking to it. So appreciate you commenting. Akura, what are your favorite Nintendo and PlayStation systems? Let me know. And anybody else, for that matter, that wants to chime in on this subject as well. What's your favorite PlayStation and Nintendo systems of all time? Let's see. Did I reply? I did. All right. So next one up is Mark. Mark, appreciate you. Commenting, Mark says, just your average Joe living in your house, in your area house. I'm lost. Give me some more contents there, Mark. I'm lost on that one. But I appreciate you commenting. Then he says, he also follows up and says, have you worried about you work? Have you worried about how you would work if you get sick? Maybe a short-term or long-term disability insurance. You know, Mark, that's something I probably should, you know, I'm only getting older and health problems tend to start creeping up on you as you get older. So hasn't been anything that I've thought about. I've had my fair share already of some things happen, but I mean, obviously you don't know what's going to happen in the future. I feel like with my hamstring injury, or I had some heart situations happen, and you know, I've always feel like, you know, I can still put things up on eBay because it's pretty low, you know, you can kind of lay on the couch and do a lot of that stuff, especially with these game piles I have laying around. But if something was to happen long term and something, you know, so no, to answer your question, no. Haven't had a ton of thought on that, to be honest with you. Probably should be something that's I need to think about, kind of like also getting a colonoscopy at this point in my life, which I really don't want to do either because I'm getting at that age, 40, I'll be 44 in April. So they say like mid 40s, that's something you need to start doing. So kind of like not looking forward to that, not looking forward to shopping around for like short-term or long-term disability insurance. That's probably not a bad thing. Also, shame on me, you know, we also don't really have a will either. I have, you know, everything is pretty much what the beneficiary goes to my wife. I've got like that stuff set up, like the beneficiary of my stuff. But like if I die and my wife dies, we don't have a will, actually. I mean, everything would, I'd imagine it goes down to the kids, and then they would have to, because basically the way from what I understand it works, you know, it would just go down to the kids, and then the kids would have to figure it out. And, you know, so, but we don't actually have a will. So we probably are also around that time in life that's something else we need to probably be doing too. My parents have been preaching will to me for a long time. But again, it's just one of those things where it just kind of, it's not a priority, but I'm not getting any younger. So that's probably something else I need to think about. So yeah, on the radar, not in scope, but it's on the radar kind of thing. So it's something that definitely we need to start thinking about here soon, for sure. So that's my 2 cents there on that, Mark, but appreciate you bringing that up. Yeah, probably something I need to do. NJoySilver says sales are terrible compared to Q4, compared to last Q4, and returns are out of control. Root of the problem is people are not reading the description because eBay fills listing pages with ads or other items in effort to collect promoted fees. I'm there with you with the whole I'm there with you with the whole Q. It ain't popping like last Q4, at least to this point, and we're already mid-November. So we only got like another 30-ish days, not even 25-ish days, because it starts slowing down around mid-December. Things start to slow down because they're getting close to Christmas at that point. So, you know, 17th, 18th, 19th, you know, somewhere along that lines is usually when things start slowing down again or getting back to normal, because the you know, people are pretty much done shopping. You get some last minuters that try to get stuff in around that time, but for the most part, that's about the time things start winding down and get back to normal. So we only have about 26 days, 25, 26 days left before things start, you know, turning around or getting back to quote unquote normal. But for me, I feel like it hasn't really picked up. It's just kind of been the same. Like I'm depositing $1,200. My goal is 14, so I'm almost at goal again. I haven't even hit goal, so it's like Q4 hasn't really done much for me this go around. I'm just kind of staying steady. My deposits are staying around that 1,000 to 1,200. I'm not really quite hitting goal. I'm not, you know, crazy under goal, which is nice, but I'm not quite hitting my goal. But I'm floating around that 1,000, 1,200 a week is what I'm getting deposited. So, you know, it's not like last year where I was killing $2,000 or more during Christmas time. It was nuts. Now, can it change and I bang out the next few weeks and things are great? Yeah, but I mean, if it wasn't for that Kevlar vest selling this week, I'd have been way behind. I mean, I'd have been depositing $700, $600 this go around. So, you know, thank goodness that Kevlar vest sold. That was a $700 pop. So, anyway, so yeah, I'm right there with you, JoySilver. And I'm sure the promoted fees and all that doesn't help. I mean, for, you know, eBay trying to pump other stuff, I totally get that too. But I don't know. But appreciate you commenting. Morgan says, is the autographed football helmet guy's first name Rex? If so, stop right away. Morgan, no. I'm part of BTG, Breaking the Game, so I have no idea who Rex is. No, Breaking the Game, we've been around for 7 years now. And then Breaking the Case is also the card part of our business. It's not really, I mean, Breaking the Game for the football memorabilia is me, and a couple other guys that do it. And then we got the guy that owns it, his name is Joey Cruz. He's out of Flowery Branch, Georgia. Buford area is where his store is. I think he's in Buford is where his storefront card shop is. But anyway, no, he's grown the business from way back. I was his second breaker basically that ever started helping him out. He needed help because his business was growing like crazy and he needed somebody to come on board to do helmets. This was before he was even doing cards, before he had a storefront. You know, everything evolves and grows over time. So, you know, fast forward 7 years, now he's got a storefront. He's doing card breaks. He's got helmet memorabilia breakers. You know, so there's a total of 4 of us, I believe, that are Henry, me, Shaw, Herrera, and he's got another guy on whatnot. So he's got 5 folks that are under, like, basically work for him in different capacities. Like one guy's his like VP / breaker. He's his VP of operations and finance, but he's also one of his breakers. I'm like independently owned, so I actually own BTG East Coast, but I'm under him. So I pay a percentage of all my stuff to him because the way we worked our deal out years and years ago. New breakers that come in under him since then, I'll get paid per box. Like the number of boxes you break is how you get paid. Again, my situation is totally different. I pay a percentage of everything depending whatever I purchase, I'm paying a percentage off of that, and then from there it's all my profit. So I'm more of like an independent. I kind of am able to do my own thing a little bit more versus other folks that are breaking under him. Are more so his employees, or I'm not really his employee. I'm more of like his peer almost. The way I'm set up, but we're old college buddies. I mean, at the end of the day, we're friends, really good friends. But yeah, no, Rex, never heard of Rex. Don't know who you're talking about. He's probably sounds like he might be a bad dude, but no, that's not us. Breaking the Game East Coast, or BTG East Coast is actually how you find us on Facebook. Or BTG Swap is one of our buy sell trade pages, or BTG South is one of our other rooms that we have on Facebook. And then we also have BTG South on TikTok, and we also have BTG East Coast on TikTok too, but I don't have anybody running for me because I actually used to have a guy that I was paying to run on TikTok, but he got promoted in his job and he couldn't do it full time for me anymore. So we don't have anybody running for me on TikTok, which I'm always open. If anybody's a hustler and knows sports and is great on camera and knows what they're doing, to take somebody on under my wing and start breaking for us on TikTok. Now he fucked up our shop, so our shop score is like 2.9. So it's gonna be some work getting a following and getting folks going. But I provide the product, you break the helmets, and I pay you based off each helmet that you, kind of like the same deal Joey's got set up for his new breakers, I would set up for my guy. You know, you break X amount of helmets a week, you're going to get paid X amount per helmet. So, Anyway, so if anybody's out there that's hustler, that's got time, that knows sports, that is driven and is good on camera and has a good personality, like it takes a lot. It's not just like, oh, I can do it, anybody can do it. Like, no, there's a lot. There's going to be a lot of work put in and a lot of time to try to get the TikTok back up and running, because my old guy kind of fucked it up. So, and I don't have the time to do it. I'm on Facebook. And then if I'm not on Facebook doing stuff, I'm here doing this and reselling and hustling, doing this stuff. So it does take a hustler mentality, a sales driven person, somebody that's got a great personality that can connect with people. These are things that, if you know you're good at, and you have time and you're dedicated and you're a hustler and you're driven, self-driven, because I'm not going to be holding hands. I will provide you product. I will provide you insight on how to do and navigate through the shop and how to do stuff through TikTok. But for the most part, it's going to be all you, and it's sink or swim type of thing. But if you can make it, if you can turn the wheel, like Home Dude was doing very well at the beginning, and then he just started letting off the pedal. And again, he was working full time. So it's hard to do this. Well, do that and work full time. So, if you can make decent money doing it, but you got to be able to be engaged with your people on TikTok, like I'm engaged with my people on Facebook. You've got to have that engagement and be there for your people. Super customer service oriented, be able to be on top of messages when people message you, be knowledgeable about the product. Now, some of that comes with time, knowing the product and knowing what we run and knowing the different types of helmets and signatures and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, it's almost as, I give you the keys to the Porsche. You just got to keep that Porsche lubed, maintained, operational, and drive it safely, and it's going to take care of itself. Maybe that's not the greatest analogy, but you get what I'm saying. Like, I'm basically going to provide you product. You don't have to put any money up front. You basically you're going to have product, and then your job is to sell it. If you can't sell it, then you don't get paid. If you can sell it, you get paid. So anyway, again, that sounds interesting to anybody, drop me a comment. Maybe we can get together and we'll work something out. But because I do need somebody for TikTok that does what I do and does live breaks on TikTok, that's creative. And, again, creativity is a big thing on TikTok. Has a nice backdrop and setup. Like, if you don't have a good place to set up, you don't have a good computer, you don't have iPad, you don't have, a good setup in your background, visually stimulating, or at least, a nice man cave. You can check the box on a bunch of other stuff, but if you don't have a nice visual background, it ain't going to work. If you don't have a good personality and can connect with people, it ain't going to work. So again, if a lot of these things are like, dude, I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. And I've got a good backdrop. I've got a man cave with a bunch of sports memorabilia already. I can put up some neon lights and I can do a few things to jazz it up and make it cool, because TikTok is all about visually stimulating. It's a little different than Facebook in that respect. So if any of this sounds like, man, I could do that, and that's up my alley, then again, shoot me a message. But if any of these things you're lacking in, because it's about the whole picture, you have to be good at all these different things. If you lack here and there, if you're not good on camera, you don't have a good personality, you don't have good customer service, you don't have a good backdrop, you don't have, the ability to go live and have a really good computer and all that kind of stuff, then it ain't gonna work. If you don't have that internal drive and motivation to do it, it ain't gonna work. So I'm kind of pitching, but also being transparent on how it kind of works. But anyway, Morgan Horde, I went a little deep and rambled about all that, but there's that. So yeah, don't know Rex. And then obviously, if anybody wants to drop me a comment and thinks they could do it, I can hand you the keys, but it's going to be up to you to make it happen. So, and to keep them keys and to keep things rolling. So anyway, Yarina says, Joe, let me open this up. She says, Joe, I want to ask you, when you sell an item, do you leave feedback as soon as they have paid, or do you wait until they get it and leave your feedback first? Because every time I sell, I leave them feedback. I don't get any feedback. It's frustrating. So now I wait. If they don't leave feedback at first, and I don't leave it either. Also, I have been meaning to tell you about the live video you did and didn't get many views. Why didn't you post it like you post these right after it was over? So I'm gonna stop there. So I leave feedback normally like twice a week. I'll go into all my stuff, I'll go into like my feedback category and just leave feedback all in bulk, usually one or two, maybe twice a week. So I normally don't leave it right after they purchase or once they get it. I just, once or twice a week, I remember, you know, get the notification that something delivered, or get a notification, you get the little alert says leave feedback for your customers. So that's usually what reminds me to go in and, oh, let me go leave a bunch of feedback. And I take 10 minutes and I go ahead and leave a ton of feedback on everything that I've sold or bought, for that matter. That doesn't yield any better results, you getting feedback. So whether you do it before or after it delivers, or right as they purchase, it doesn't matter. A lot of people just don't leave feedback. I mean, I haven't gotten a ton of feedback off all the sales I've gotten, you know, 3,000-4,000 sales. I mean, I've gotten, I don't know, 600 feedback. I mean, it's like 10% or so of the people that buy actually leave feedback, which is a shame. But the only thing you can do is solicit for feedback. And we talked about that before. Like, you can send an email to them or a message to them and say, hey, you know, thank you for your purchase. Kind of like the one I've started sending out, which I didn't, I have actually put in there leave feedback, but even then I haven't been getting much more feedback. In fact, I can't say there's a noticeable difference. My message is a template, and it does mention, you know, if you enjoy your product, or, you know, please leave negative, or please leave positive feedback. If there's anything that you need, or if there's any problems, please reach out to me first. Please don't submit a case with eBay. I'll take care of you. I'm good at messaging and replying, blah, blah, blah. Whatever my template says. My template's got all that stuff in it. But it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get more feedback even doing that. So it's just part of the beast. There's not a ton you can do with people. People just are bad about leaving feedback, and just, it is what it is. The second part of your thing is when I go live, it doesn't post like my regular videos post. It automatically just posts it in the live section, I guess. So it's in a different place in the channel than where I normally post my videos. So that's just by default for YouTube. It doesn't give me the ability to post it under my regular videos, if that makes sense. So you know, again, that's very big reason probably why it didn't get a lot of views, because it's under the live portion or section of the category and YouTube or whatever. So, so anyway, there's that. Is that my mail lady? No. Okay. And then she goes, also says, that way you would gain more views, the live ones, plus people watching it on YouTube afterwards. For the ones who missed it, they could rewatch it, or rather watch it for those who couldn't connect at the time. Just a thought, not sure if you knew you could do that. Yeah, like I said, as far as I know, I can look at it again, but it didn't give me an option to post it anywhere. So when I go live, it gives you the live option, go live. And then once it's done, it's done. It doesn't let you like post that somewhere else within YouTube. So it only basically stays in the, I guess, the live portion of the YouTube recordings history or whatever. So yeah, I mean, like I said, and then on my phone, it doesn't record the live either, because you're just going live from the platform. So it's not, my phone is not storing that video. It's just live. So I don't have a way to then take that video that I just, because it's not recording on your phone. So I don't have a way to take that video and then repost it in the regular section like these go, where these go all the time. So yeah, maybe as I could do it more, there's ways to do it. But from what I saw going through it, that's where I'm at with it. That's kind of what I'm thinking. If anybody wants to chime in there and tell me anything different, I'll take it and let me know. But I think that's the reason. So there's that. We got a few more comments, then we'll get into sales. So Dan says, I feel famous when you read my comments. Well, of course I subscribe. You have a God-given common sense. You have God-given common sense. Laughed my butt off at the shipping repurposed bubble wrap, bubble envelope. Nick, that Nick guy, you know, he left me a nasty message afterwards, said I answer questions like a jackass, and I sent him, I just did a reply. You can go into the comments and see it, but I just did a reply to him and typed it up and just said, this dude's obviously doesn't have a lot of friends and is a douchebag, so he's not getting any more of my screen time. But anyway, so if you're watching, Nick, you're a douchebag. Anyway, laugh my butt off on the repurposed envelopes. Everything I use is repurposed boxes, air pillows, packing paper, bubble wrap, craft paper. Save the earth, cut costs. By the way, I'm working my reseller on eBay like Joe. Sell it work it, repair it, sell it. Yep, like Joe. Well, I appreciate that, Dan. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I just got plumb full of stuff again, so I'm definitely trying. But thank you for your support and hanging out. Dan also says, tell us about categories. Do you occasionally change categories on revised items, or do you leave it just revised listing? So I don't do a lot of revise or sell a similar or change categories. Like if I go back and edit something, I'm usually tweaking the title, and I don't do it often. But whenever I do go back and edit something for whatever reason, somebody made an offer on an old item, and I'm like, man, this has been sitting forever. Let me maybe end it and sell a similar, and maybe tweak the listing on it or something like that. Or I don't know. I mean, I can't give you examples off the top of my head, but whenever I do go back and edit stuff, because again, it's not very often, it's normally just the title. I tweak the title a little bit, and maybe tweak the price a little bit, and then I just sell a similar and do those things, and that's it. I normally don't fuck with the category and adjust anything there. Yeah, so there's that. So Will, and again, appreciate you commenting again. Did I already reply? I did reply. All right. And then Will, appreciate you, Will, for commenting and hanging out. Will says, I only recommend 99% isopropyl alcohol for electronics. Fair. You know, 99% is better than 91, but when your local Dollar General only has 91, I'm rolling with 91. And from what I understand, 91 is almost as effective. It's just a matter of how quickly it's going to dry. So you just don't want to, 99% dries a lot quicker. Not so much that it's much more effective as far as cleaning. Obviously, it's a little bit more, maybe a tiny bit more effective cleaning. But it's more along the lines from the little bit of research that I've done, which isn't a lot, it just dries that much faster. So it's better. It is better for electronics, obviously, for it to dry quicker. But 91% is almost just as effective. And again, if that's all they have at your local Dollar General, that's what mine had, so that's what I roll with, and it seems to have worked on pretty much everything I've thrown at it. At least most, I mean, cleans well, pins for cartridges. It does a good job actually on thumbsticks. So you have to break down controllers that have like the drift and stuff. Like if you take the little you take it apart, take the joystick thing off, the thumb pad off, and then you put the isopropyl alcohol in there and clean it up, and just swab at it and mess with it. So far, I've gotten pretty good success on getting those controllers to actually start working regularly again and not having the drift. But I kind of soak it a little bit with isopropyl alcohol, move it around a lot, take a Q-tip in there as best as I can, clean up a little bit of the stuff that's inside of there, which usually is not a lot that you can get out of it with the Q-tip. And it seems to, so far, I've only done it on 3 controllers, but 3 of them, I'm 3 for 3 right now on those 3. So anyway, lenses on disk drives, I'm like, I don't know, 13 for 16 or some shit like that. Like it's not quite a batting 1,000, but it's been pretty successful on cleaning lenses and getting non-reading lasers to start reading again. So it's been pretty successful there. So I recommend it. 91, 99. Either way, it'll help you if you're a video game reseller. That's for sure. Hey, Zeus says, motivation, motivation, motivation. Thank you for the motivation, Joe. Well, hey, Zeus, thank you for the continued support, sir. I appreciate you. And let's, I think that's the last comment. Let me refresh here. I need some motivation to, I need some motivation on this table because, man, this table got me backward, let me show off the table real quick. Processing table. So this weekend, as I mentioned, I did several deals with folks that are local that I have connections and network with. And I did go yard sailing and picked up really just one big thing, yard sailing. And then I did like 3 or 4 marketplace deals. So this is my processing table. If you remember, it was totally clear. It was totally clear. And now it's, it is full again. It is full again. So there's that. There's the, obviously this from here over is not part of my process. It is my processing table, but that's all video games that are like the Picky Picker said, that is the cash pile of just games that I know will sell well because they are all the good games for the respected system. So like all your Zeldas and Marios and all that good stuff. So that's something I'll get to at some point eventually. I'm not worried, but so that I'm not counting. But all this stuff here, stuff I just picked up over the weekend. So this weekend, in fact, the one thing is, this is the big deal I picked up. You'll see it. I don't normally do Avon stuff, guys, but this lady had so much brand new sealed Avon stuff. As you can see there, all Avon. And then there's more of it over here that I got a list. This stuff's already up. I just put this up today. But the only thing I saw, I went to like 5 or 6 yard sales Saturday. I do have some footage, so you guys will see the footage once I do get it out finally. But I'm only going to show the one because the one was the only place that I really got anything, which was I did $150 for all of that stuff, including this pile here of more sealed. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more sealed here. $150 for the whole deal. It's all discontinued Avon sealed lotion, shower gel, and perfumes. The bundle of the pink ones for the shower gel, the perfume, and the lotion goes for like $30 per one or per lot plus shipping. And then like the green ones that were in that box go for about $25. And there's 13 of those, I believe. And then each of these go for about 20 bucks a piece on all these. She gave me a killer deal, 150 bucks for all of it. I was like, you know what? I'll take a shot on it. It might sell slow. But I mean, there's from 150, there's potential to do $700, $800 possibly. I think just the pink and the green alone was like $650 just on those. And that's not including these here. So that's another, I don't know, about another $100, 150 bucks there. So you're talking about $800 possibly out of 150. So it may be a slow sell, but the reason I did it was because it was a lot of those. There's 13 and 11 of those other ones I showed you in the box. One listing for 11, one listing for 13, done. And then these are just onesie twosies. Like there's 2 of these in here. There's 2 of these. So one listing for these 2. And then, so that was another reason I did it, was because there was a lot of the same. One listing for these 2. So that's those 2 there. These are the same ones as well. So one listing for those 2. And then these 2 are the same. So one listing for these. So I just got to get these up as well. But that's, you know, for me, I was like, I'll take a shot. I'll take a shot on it. So that was the only thing I really picked up yard sale wise. Did 2 video game deals. Lots of great titles. Grandia, Gauntlet, Mega Man Collection, Dragon Quest, Capcom Classics, another Grenada 2, Turtles, I can't even say half these damn titles. Shining Force. Oh, by the way, if y'all ever seen this, I got 3 of these. If you don't know, I got 3 of these. I didn't know until the guy showed them to me. Minty Mint, discs complete, 3 copies of this. A bunch of Wii games, some GameCube games, this collector edition, this Guia, I don't know, D2, it's the whole collector's edition. We got a whole bunch of Super Mario, Zelda, there's Final Fantasy in here, there's Dragon Ball, Final Fantasy Tactics, there's just a bunch of good stuff, another Zelda over here. So this little thing here, we got a Switch, so Switch, we got systems here. These are 20 bucks a piece, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 bucks for the systems. They got no controllers, no cables, no nothing. He said they turn on, he said they power on, but he said he didn't test them further from there. So, you know, I took a shot for 20 bucks a pop. I got controllers, I got hookups for most of them. Those that I don't, I'll buy third-party cheap ones on eBay, and as long as they work. Because I do have connections to test everything. I just don't have any to go with them to sell them. So if they work, then I'll buy them to sell them or bundle with it so I can sell them is a lot. But I do have controllers for all of those, which is good. And then, did you hear that, or was I in the way? So that's so OG Xbox, Dreamcast, PS2, and PS3. So again, I couldn't go wrong for 20 bucks a pop on them. 2 Nintendo SPs. Black one in very, very nice condition. Black one, and then another one that's in very, very nice condition. I believe this is the blue one. Yep. Well, a little scratched up, but not terrible. So, and this is the AGS 002, which has the brighter screen. It also came with some games. So there's that. So bought both of these. So Mark, I'll just say Mark. Remember Mark said a whole thing about it's hard to find games and they're expensive now and all that. I mean, you're not wrong, but I think I did pretty good this weekend. I paid up a little bit, but there's plenty of room on the stick for everything. But another pair of the SV, just picked these up for $40, pretty much brand new. The SV2s, army boots. These I put up for like $140. Picked them up for $40, so a nice little $100 probably turnaround there. After fees, maybe 80-ish, but not too bad there. Yeah, so that's what I got. Some good titles in here though. The PS1 games over here. We got a bunch of Wii games. All the good stuff basically. Just, you know, Smash Bros, Mario Karts, Mario, Paper Mario, Zelda, stuff like that. Castlevania on PS2. What else is over here in this stack? Another stack back here. More so filler games back here. There's a couple steel books that are not bad in the back pile back there. And then some decent, most of the 360 games are filler. Most of the PS1 games are filler. But there's a few gems in there. Red Dead Redemption is like a 15-ish, maybe $15, $18. I don't remember off the top. Marvel vs. Capcom. Metal Gear Solid collection. So there's a couple steel books in there too. So there's a few in there that, you know, may go for 15-ish, give or take. But most of the Xbox stuff and the PS1 stuff is filler. But then like a few GameCube, some decent, you know, you got Mario Party, you got Final Fantasy, Soul Calibur. I mean, you know, there's some decent ones, and these are mint. Like this thing is mint. The collection I got from the one guy, I mean, the stuff, you can't tell through the camera, but like it feels new. They're so clean. And so I'm going to try to get premium out of them because, as you know, condition is a factor, and there's a lot of collectors and they want their stuff clean. So that will be part of what I, you know, in my listing strategy for the stuff that's super clean is to articulate that the best that I can in the listing, that these things are like new, man, clean, minty, and get a premium out of them. So